Yo boys, back with another video. Today we're playing the good old-fashioned Assassination like everybody wanted me to try out. I also wanted to try out myself. And yeah, I played a decent amount of games, and I will say I regret putting Feral. I've watched what's his name? Snoopy's video on Feral, and I've been facing Ferals, and they either run this Convoke build or they run this insane bite build. And if you look at Snoopy's video, the one on his druid, he's just the thing is, I don't want to base my damage or anyone else's damage off of me having. So what's going on is when you see somebody with, like, for example, I almost have 800k HP, and on top of that, all my stats are like, you know, it's like I just did steroids, and they're not taking steroids, so I'm gonna look better than I actually am. So a lot of these people that I face don't have the gear, because if you do have the gear, you're usually like at 2400 plus. Because I'm not gonna lie, these games were incredibly easy. I'm just playing with random looking for people, and we pretty much won every game but like two or three, and they weren't that difficult. Had I played with like a priest with PI or mind games or really just any, just priests in general, it probably would have been, 10 times easier just due to the fact that they do unhealable dam and you're getting PI, which PI is insane. Um, but yeah, as you can see, with the gear, the damage is insane. It's actually really nice. Just, I don't want to base it off the good old fash, because a lot of these people like this, these people don't have the gear, and you might not think there's a big difference, but there is an immense difference. Like it's unbelievably a huge advantage, and I don't know why they would even do. I mean, I guess it's pre-patch; they don't really care. But as long as they're not nerfing anything based off of, this, because, like, obviously every class that has this, same thing with Snoopy's video, because he has the gear. This guy decides in a pet sack, he doesn't decide to click PS or swap or dome or really anything, or even trinket. So I end up taking him out. I actually kill a lot of these people in the opener. I faced this guy when I was with the Mistweaver and we lost, and then he teabagged me. And then in this game, the very next time I face him with the Druid, he ends up losing in the opener because he decides to trank at 10% with all my dots already on him. That's what you call a typical 14 hundo. You did teabag me, so it's karma. That's what it is. So you don't teabag the X-Vic. That's just not how. That's unacceptable. The moment you lost the moment you teabagged me, because the moment I face you again, you absolutely got farmed immediately, and I actually disarmed in the cyclone. But we end up absolutely farming this guy. I end up using every button. He decides to hold trinket, which is the most, oh my, and then he has to trinket or wait, does he trinket the gouge? But I don't know what he did. He tranks and then he dies because he doesn't put hots on himself. So he sits my full kidney with every ability in the game. I was gonna message him, but I was like, well, that's not even worth it. I'm too lazy. So I ended up just, exiting out the match and getting on to the next one. So these guys actually do use CDs. The problem is they overuse. I think they use double wall and iron bar. Let's see how many CDs they use. This is a lot of people's issues. They don't know how to use their CDs, and they overuse, and then they end up dying. So wall, wall, iron bark. That's double wall and iron bark. Or actually, did he use his big wall? I can't see. Maybe not. Maybe it was just, iron bark and his mini wall. So that's, and his, okay, never mind. Okay. So that's every CD in the game in the opener at 100% HP. Exactly what we like to see. And we got Trinket. Or no, we didn't get trinkets yet, actually. I forgot that they're, you have to look at their nameplates because the S Arena thing's bugged or whatever. So we're just double weighting the best that we can. You want to be going lock. You want to try to go casters. The thing is, wrestlers have like a really bad habit of playing in the middle of the open instead of just sitting on a pillar. Listen, if you sit on a pillar as a wrestler druid versus a melee, no matter what melee it is, unless you're stunned, they're not catching you after like sprint. Like they're just, especially if you have a warlock that can just slow permanently. So just some fun advice. Don't ever go out in the open, and you will never die. It's really hard to die as a wrestler, like unless you're in the open and I'm able to chase you. Otherwise, it's difficult. So like as you can see, he's doing pretty decent. He's running to the pillar. The moment I even swap on him, he's instantly on that pillar, and now he should be running around it and not just standing there. He goes out in the open, which instantly lost him the game without tranking. So he had trank. He didn't want to use it. Another mistake that, I mean, to be fair, it's only like 2100 CR. So these are not high. Okay, they're not high CR games, but I wanted a healer that was like 2K plus, so at least I get something. Cause like I know 1800 and 1600 games, any class that I play will look good. Just same thing with anybody else. So I wanted to play something that was a little bit higher. This was a longer game. These guys actually played quite well. This is a wrestler druid that knew how to play. Like he didn't. They might have misdid it. We all do misplays, but overall, these guys did play really well. I mean, he instantly would go to the pillar the moment he was out of a Kinney, and that's the great thing about Wrestler Druid. When you're playing with the Wrestler Druid, that's all you need to do. Heal yourself, and then run. Don't even worry about Cyclone. He ends up actually getting... Actually, no, I end up nelfing it, and then I kick the Cyclone, but a lot of Druids have a bad habit with Cycloning. When you're cycloning as a wrestler, I feel like it's only worth if you're doing goes or you can guarantee 100% that you can't be stunned and you can't be kicked. It's not even worth it. It's better for you. You have more of a chance at just sitting there behind a pillar healing than you do at cycloning, even though it might get boring. That's the wrestler meta, is where you sit 40 yards away and that's all you do, and then you drink. So basically, you're stopping my druid from drinking and sitting 40 yards away, and that's it. That's all you have to do. I actually haven't really played that much. I've gotten like 2200 on my Rusted Druid, but then I just, got bored and I stopped playing it. And then I just went over the Boomy, and then I got like 2600 on him. But I ended up getting my Warlock to 2445. I don't know if it counts though. Does it count as me getting that class to 2400, even though it's pre-patch? That's the real question I want to. The thing is, I don't get the actual elite achievement, but I don't care for the elite. I just want the experience. So I think it counts for experience, but it doesn't count for the achievement. I'm actually getting like really bad FPS issues on my end right now, but what is? I don't think you guys get it. I think it's only me. But what is? So they didn't play that bad. I think the one issue that I see with a lot of this is an example of SP being a worse spec. Uh, SP just doesn't have that burst damage because every time he has a 2-minute burst, I'm gonna have my cloak. And unless you, well, if he had he, if the druid would stun my druid and then he kept mind gamesing me instead of going on my druid. My druid had a bad habit of coming in the middle of the map, and that's where he needs to be punished. Instead, the priest kind of just focused me, and since the druid's not dragging me out, he can't even cast on me. Like, it's pretty much that's all you have to do versus a melee. Just drag him out to the middle, and then you can free cast on both the healer and the DPS, and then if he goes, you perfect. So like, what this guy's doing right now is not bad, but I'm too close to the pillar. So anytime I'm in a rough spot, I can just hop on a pillar. Because he's running on the pillar with a caster. That's like one thing about bad with a caster. You're not able to do what he's doing, especially if I'm going him. Because then the priest is not able to play the game. Like this guy's been on the pillar like 90% of the game, and the priest hasn't been able to do anything. Because he has to sit in the middle in order to do anything. And by the time he does come out in the middle, then DRs are off and I can just CC him just like I did now. So blind and cyclone into bleeds. Let's see. Yep. So full bleed on the Priest. Druid leaps over. He's rooting him. And all you're doing is double bleeding, and that's pretty much it. I end up gouging him just to stop mini damage, because obviously gouge is pretty useless, especially when you're assassination. It's not bad if you're maybe in a solo shuffle. You can kind of use it as a kick. That's pretty much what you use it as, a kick, because like you're bleeding both people 99% of the time. And I'm using the feint talent, so instead of running cheat death here, I'm running the feint talent, so I'm getting that extra 40% or 35% damage reduction whenever I have crowd controls on me, which is like 2 or more people, just crowd control, stuns and stuff. So, every time, I do use feint, there's a really good chance that I'm getting that, and it's really helping out, especially when I have 2 of them. So, not bad at all. let's see. Honestly, I kept forgetting that this build doesn't have the crit in it, and that's why I keep vanishing in a lot of these. On top of getting my, garrote off, because you get a huge garrote when you vanish, and that's like a lot of your main burst damage when you burst is that huge garrote. You want to get that stealth garrote off. That's like the first button you should be clicking out of stealth, unless you're stunning first, like with a cheap shot. But like you should immediately try to get that double because it hurts. It's a lot of damage. To be fair though, these guys played really well. We honestly probably would have lost if they had gear. They played really well, way better than they're probably the best people that I faced tonight that actually overall played good, and they wasn't just a healer difference or something in that range. I ended up blinding him to set him up in bear form, just to get bleeds on him again, just to stop his healing. Because at this point he's doomed. He's dead. As long as I can just not allow him to get a drink or run at all, he's dead right now. And my guys still have 40% mana because that's how it is. And we end up winning. They played good, but not good enough. I mean, they needed gear, really. I mean, it's not really fair, to be fair. So, Rogue's looking really good right now, but you gotta remember that I have 20 item level on top of what they have. So, not only is it already not fair for them, but a lot of these people don't even, they're too, like, they don't, I mean, it doesn't take a long time to get the gear. It probably takes like an hour and a half if you just sit there and get a good group. That's what it's taken me on most of my characters that I've, happened to do it on. But if you do have the gear currently, you are a pretty god tier. There is an immense difference, and it's so here in this situation, a serve should never lose to a assassination rogue, and just because of badge, every time I have my bleeds up, he can badge him off. So all he's waiting for is that vendetta, or whatever it's called nowadays. I don't know what I still don't even know. I don't even remember what it's called. I'm just calling it vendetta. But look, the moment you basically have to use it on the hunter. Honestly, I didn't even expect him to use it because I'm playing at 2100, and especially at 2100 and pre-patch is like 1800 or 1600. Maybe not actually. I mean, these guys didn't play bad. They actually played pretty solid. I think it's the same thing here. It might be a gear difference as well. Because these guys are the same. They're still under geared. Like they're last season BIS, but I'm pre-patch BIS. And like I said, there's a 20 percent item level difference. I did face a few people that had the item level that I had, but it wasn't likely that they had a chance. I actually wanted to get this one game in here that I might add in that I wasn't gonna add in, but I'm gonna find it and then put it in at the end of this video just because the guy didn't want to click any buttons and he ended up dying in the opener, and just because just because I want to put it in there for an extra good old fashioned clip. But we end up taking him out. We put full bleeds up on the hunter, and the hunter, I don't know if he has badge or not, but all he needed to do was badge while he was in turtle, and I'm pretty sure you can do that, or just pre-badge and then turtle. But I ended up getting a full Kenny bleed. Look at all my bleeds on this guy, and then, at this point he's dead. Like, but he turtles, but you have to badge those bleeds off, and I'm pretty sure he has it up. So he ends up dying because I gouged it, and then he's dead. So at 20%, had he had his badge up, which I'm 90% sure he did, he would have been fine. But some people just you're not when you're panicking, you're not thinking of it. But then again, he might not even had it. But I'm pretty sure he's only used it like once or twice that game, maybe even only once. Here we end up opening. Same thing here. These guys are under geared. I actually end up using my Kingsbane onto his die with the swords. I honestly was gonna step to it, but honestly, for some reason, I thought it could go through it. Like, honestly, or maybe I just didn't care enough, actually. Actually, look at that CC I just did on this guy. The most DR CC I've done in a while. DR, 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 just to get that extra bleed dam off. So let's get them double bleeds off here. So yeah, I will say at the end of the day, Assassination is looking pretty good. We'll have to see when the season starts and we all have like full honor gear, and then go from there. Because the honor gear should be better than the bloody token gear and last season bits by a mile. It'll even be better than bloody token gear. So, and then once everybody has that, we'll see how good it is. Who knows? A lot of classes may just be insane right now, but then once they actually face people with their gear, they're not as good as they might seem. Because I haven't really faced anybody. I faced one person with my gear, or I faced a few, but there was. I guess the difference is my damage doesn't change, but but theirs does. Like they'll do unhealable damage to me, and then usually I wouldn't. I'd still take damage, but I do a lot. I do enough to where they were forced to retreat. But I'm gonna add another clip here. So at the end of this, I'm gonna add one on top of this, and then we are gonna be calling it a GG for the Vidiante. But let's see you guys in the next clip. Alrighty, for the next clip, I have actually two more clips for the good old fancy Gentilmeln and the 2% Wimion. Actually, fun fact, most of my viewers are actually older, so like they're up in the age of like 25 to like 35. You are old, I ain't gonna lie. If you're watching this and not to be that guy, but I was thinking about 18 to like 25 maybe max. I did not maybe there was like that 2 percentage, but no, it's literally like 30 to 40% of my whole viewer base are like 30 years old. So that's hmm, very questionable. I don't know what you guys are still doing on the game. We need to figure this out for your retirement soon. You're getting up in the age. Once I'm 30 years old, I'm pretty much clocking out. But we'll see how that goes. So pretty much another example of these guys being undergeared. Now, obviously, I am a what's the word? I am still good at the game, but you know, even if we were the same gear, they still probably wouldn't have that much of a chance. But they'd have enough chance to where if they make an outplay, it might matter. At this point, I'm able to hold my trinket. This is the difference right here. Like he used his ascendance break. He actually didn't use his burst, so actually never mind. I mistakenly. He actually did a misplay. He actually just tried to bait my trinket. Instead, I bait his entire life force down in about 3 seconds because he thought PS was gonna save him. No darkness, no swap, and no nothing. Goodbye. No dome either. Adios. You gotta get better, my friend. Gotta get better. Now he darknesses. Oh my lord, have mercy. Now we face the guy. This guy has gear. Now this is the one player that got absolutely demolished. He tried to underestimate my godly amount of force. Unfortunately for him, you can't underestimate me because I will absolutely farm you every day of the week. And in this situation, I pop every CD, I smoke bomb his AMZ, the healer doesn't push in, I blind the healer, and he gets toaster oven. Let's see if he iceborns. Iceborn, Iceborn. He has all this time. Iceborn, Iceborn, Iceborn. No clicky, you die. GG's. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace.